Today guys, I really want to get into a game that I feel should have deserved more love, not only because it has some really awesome missions in its campaign, but also because every single Medal of Honor games that are not VR have been shut down. We cannot decide to go in and get into any multiplayer matches anymore because EA has permanently shut down all servers for lack of players and overall lack of updates. They didn't want to pay to keep their servers active anymore, so while the servers are dead, I figured we'd jump back into its campaign, which offers some really awesome moments, and it's sad that this game, or rather this series, has been completely forgotten. This is Medal of Honor Warfighter. And even though this game is completely abandoned, there's no one playing the multiplayer nor the campaign right now, I actually think it deserved more praise than what it received at the time of the game's release. Also keep in mind, Medal of Honor Warfighter was a game made by an almost unknown company at the time, which wasn't really good with FPS game. The game before that, the Medal of Honor game before that in 2010, was made by DICE. The multiplayer was made by DICE and the campaign by another company that was good at FPS game. But this last Medal of Honor game was made by a team completely new to FPS games, and I think they did good. The campaign is great. It's filled with completely different missions across different countries in the world, and its multiplayer, even though I can't show you nothing because there's no one playing, is really good, and it's fast-paced, even though it's completely different than the Medal of Honor multiplayer before that. Warfighter was EA's second attempt at trying to create a Call of Duty competitor at the time of the game's release in 2012. Battlefield was very much a war game of its own, and so it tried to make a COD competitor with Medal of Honor, but of course completely failed. It seemed each time someone has tried to make a better game than, for say, Call of Duty, it never worked because they're always trying to copy and never ever innovate, and so we're stuck in a loop of AAA games repeating themselves for years to come, for the sake of following trend and money, and of course the lack of innovation. Medal of Honor Warfighter was unfortunately stuck in that loop, but still delivered something great in the end, in my opinion. Its campaign, even though pretty short, is filled with epic moments that are inspired by actual real-life events, like the Zero Dark 30 events that shook the military world at the time.
First floor clear. Upstairs. Move. Got him.
Almost every single mission in Warfighter is inspired by real life, which adds to the immersion. Some of the levels could be much better in terms of overall fun and action, but the places we go are actual places from real life, and they wanted us to be fully immersed in its realistic environments. Warfighter offers 13 missions, all of them fully action-packed and fast-paced, with 2 missions where you're controlling a vehicle that are just plain bad, but the rest is actually fun. At the time, the game was also the first to utilize the Frostbite 2 engine, which in some parts showed how beautiful this game can be, but in others how bad and glitchy it is. It's like the developers' lack of motivation to fully polish the whole campaign is why it looks so bad in some places. Some missions, like the very first ones, look absolutely amazing, while others are just so bad, with mountains, rocks and roads and etc. that look like the PlayStation 1 era. Overall, this game is better than when it was received during its release. It had massive competition at the time with Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Battlefield, thus it was deemed to fail from the beginning.